Hi fellas, welcome to my Visual C++ Calculator Plus. I'm just going to start the project now. I'm going to call it so it's called Visual C++ Calculator Plus, but it's going to be a huge program, although I'm very fast with it. So let's get some of the components on board right now for this first stage of this project. So I need some buttons. So I'm going to embed some of my buttons. I need about how many of those? Yeah, that's fine. So let's change the font size of that very button. Change the font size to about 12, bold. That's cool. And that'll be my first one. So I'll just copy it across. I will still add some other component to this very calculator. So for now, that's how it's going to look. But first thing, before I continue, let me add a label right there. Okay, with this label, let's modify some of these properties right here. Auto size, that will be false. And make the color white. The border style, let's change that to fixed 3D. So now I'm going to change, modify some of the component here. Let's make alignment, middle right. Then the font size, change that to 12 as well. Bold. And enter 0 right in there. Next thing is let's give it a name. That'll be LBL show answer. That's the name for this very component. So I will just modify all of those buttons. So that'll be 2, 3, 4. Right. And the component right here is supposed to be a dot. So maybe I might have to just increase the font size so that it's more visible. Let's make it about 18. And bring it right to the middle. And maybe to the top. Okay. Okay, the next thing now is just double click on button 1. So using an if statement. So what I'll say is if my LBL show answer equals equals 0. Okay, and LBL equals 1. So let's close that and using an if else statement, else. So now say equals convert. Let's converting the answer to integer. Say int 32. Is my okay. So that's for my first button. So I'll now just copy this across and paste it inside button 2 and just change the numbers. Okay, that's what I'll repeat for all the buttons. And I'll come back to you guys and continue with the rest development. So for button 2, just double click and within the code view, enter the codes and just change this. And I'll repeat the same thing for all of the buttons. Okay, now that I've finished entering the code for button 1 to 9, that's from 1 to okay, that's up to 9. But I just noticed there's an error here. 0 is missing, so maybe I should convert this to 0. I should just convert that C to 0. And please make that clear. Okay, so maybe realign, bring it back down, or maybe center. Okay, that's so now enter the code for the 0. The code for the 0. Okay. Well, I think this is the right time to enter my variables. Enter my variables right there, which I've already done. Those are the variables I intend to use. Maybe I might change it to either float or double. But I'll come back to that later on. Right now, what I'll do is just to enter the equals. So that might take coding. So I've now entered the operators, various operators for the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. I've just used the basic arithmetic operators. And also for the equals, this is the code for the equals. So as a code, and this is my default statement right here. So what I'll do next is I will actually code this close sign to prompt the user for confirmation before exiting the system. So to do that, go to the property, come to the events, select the event and select event form closing. Double click on that. And here is my code for form closing. So let's the next thing is just to build the system and give it a try. I'll run the program. Now the program is running, so let's give it a try. Let's divide that and multiply it by anything. Okay, the system works as expected, so next thing is clear. That works. Now let's check how they get that's working as well. So it's either I say no or I say yes, and that's it done. So the next step is for me to now convert the whole system into calculator plot. For the first stage, we need a menu. Let's get a menu into the system menu. Where is it? There we go. Now we get a menu. If you look down here, you see a menu strip. So up here, enter my, let's call that file, maybe basic calculator. And underneath here, maybe let's throw one unit converter in there. And here will be my exit. Okay, let me get the exit out of the way. The unit converter, I will be using my temperature converter, which you guys already seen in YouTube. So that is my exit application. Sorry, column exit. So the exit is out of the way. One good thing about this exit is it will actually work in conjunction with my form closing. So let me run my system. I'll rebuild it and give it a shot. So now the program is running. Let's give the exit button a try. Look at that. Okay. So you just need to confirm if you want the system out. No. Let's give it a try one more time. Yes, system out. Yeah. Okay. The exit is out of the way. The next thing we need to do now is let's create the unit converter. So with the unit converter, let's just first thing first, from 1, we just need to rescale the from 1 equals, let me make that 487, because the first size is 287, so just double that by 200. So the basic calculator, let's make that so the width for the basic calculator will be from 1, width equals 287. Right. So if I compile or build the program and give it a try, and here's what will happen. With, if I click on unit converter, that's what you get. There's nothing there right now. Go back to basic calculator. That's a little bit too wide, so I need to now reduce the size one more time. Okay, so I must have used the wrong argument. Okay, let me go back into the coding area. So maybe that should be, let's say, the form. it's actually showing the first figure here. That's the width. Sorry about that. Go back there and change that to 0.1. Good. Now this might be too long, so let's change that to, well, leave that. Okay, now go back, build the project. Now let's give it a try one more time. That's unit converter, back to basic. Unit converter and back to basic. Back to basic. Okay, now let's exit. Good. So now back into the system. Save. Back into the system. Now we start the coding for the unit converter. Well, just to brief you guys what I intend to do with the unit converter. Right here, I will enter my temperature converter that I developed a couple of days or some days back. Let me just show you the temperature converter, which is right here. And that's my temperature converter. This temperature converter is already in YouTube, so I'm now going to incorporate it into this calculator plus. You will see this very title. You will also see this group box and the following. Okay, and this button, this label, you will see all of that. So this is how it works. So that will be representing my unit converter, and this reset button will be incorporated into it. The only thing that I will not enter into this converter will be the exit button, because I already have one main exit button. So let's go back into the calculator plus itself. Now we are in the calculator plus development environment. So I will now add a group box right here, there. So also change the background color of this group box. Maybe to something black. Yeah, that's fine. And up here, enter the label right here. And just call it temperature conversion. Maybe temperature converter. Yep. Change the font size to something a little bit readable. Yeah, that's okay. Now let me add one more group box. Yep, right here. That's there. That's good enough. Now I need 3 radio buttons. 1, 2, and 3. I think those are good enough. Maybe move them down a little bit. That's cool. And then change the data in here to converter. Let me change that to converter. Select unit to convert. Right. So this will be my Celsius. Celsius to Fahrenheit. And the next button here will be Fahrenheit to Celsius. And the last, that'll be Kelvin. And I need two more buttons here. Let me just enter one button right here. I'll call this convert. Converter. And one more button that'll be called reset. That'll be my reset button. Yeah. Okay. So I will now compile. I will now build a system just to see the output. So, but before I build the system, I think I need to change the font size before giving it a try to 201. That's that. Now build it again. Now this system has started debugging, so let's give it a try. Unit converter. Bang. These buttons are not doing anything yet. And we now need our basic as it. Back to unit converter. I think I'm going to now enter the display for the converted unit right here. So let's insert a label right here. Okay, let's go back, exit the system. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna add my label right here. There. Let's change one or two of the components to auto size, force, back color, make that white, border style, 3D. Now align center and delete the content in there for now. That's my label too. Okay. Oh, maybe yeah. All right. That's the converter. The next thing is just to complete the coding. So I'm now debugging the first stage of this calculator plus. So I'll select my file, converter, enter some data in there, choose one of the units of conversion, and that's that, Celsius, Kelvin, reset. Okay, that's how the first stage works. The next thing we're going to do now is to enter another menu right here, okay, for our piano. Okay, and that will be for the piano. Okay, I might be using the music piano developed using musical notes, and the other one developed called a piano console. So let me exit the system and I'll see you guys later.